Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another video. Today we are back with the Premier League predictions. I'm joined by Sophie. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Let's dive straight into them. We've got Saturday and Sunday games to go through, starting with Aston Villa versus Arsenal. This should be interesting. Both teams come into this just outside that top six, I believe. Aston Villa have got a few games in hand. They might be able to crack in there. But Arsenal come into this on the back of that defeat against Wolves, and they will have two players suspended, David Luiz and Leno. So I'm actually going to back an Aston Villa win here. I'm sorry to the Arsenal fans watching this. Aston Villa 1-0.
Yeah, if they didn't have the suspensions, I'd be tempted to say 2-1 Arsenal, because they're not in terrible form, and I think they got done over by the ref the other day, because that red card for David Luiz, for me, that's not a red.
No.
I'm going to go with a Villa win, and I think there's going to be goals, so I'm going to say 2-1 Villa.
2-1 to Villa. Okay, the next game is a big one. Two teams just above the relegation zone. Burnley are hosting Brighton. I don't know what to think of this. They both look like they're probably just solid enough to stay up, and based on that, I'm going to go for a goalless draw. I think both teams will probably take a point because of the gap they've got over that bottom three, and I think both teams will just survive at the end of the season.
I'm going to back Brighton here. I think they're the better team for me. I prefer watching them than watching Burnley play. And I think if anyone's going to finish above one another, I think Brighton could finish above Burnley, to be honest. So I'm going to go 1-0 Brighton. I don't think it'll be a goal fest, but I think Brighton will get the win.
Okay, the next game is two teams that lost in their Tuesday fixtures. Newcastle versus Southampton. Now, Southampton lost 9-0. And they also have two players suspended, which is a bit of a madness. Newcastle come into this, obviously, having lost 2-1 to Palace. I don't know what to think of this game. I think Newcastle still need a few more points to be safe. I think Southampton are safe. They're just probably going to finish mid-table. They need to get some form back. I'm going to go down the middle. Newcastle 1, Southampton 1.
I think Southampton need to bounce back from this 9-0, to be honest. That's two 9-0 defeats in 16 months. That is just shocking, isn't it?
That's awful.
So I think they need to get a win, and if anyone they could beat, it's Newcastle, because they're in terrible form. So I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton. I think both teams will score, but I think Southampton need to get the win. They've got a point to prove now after that defeat, so 2-1.
2-1. The next game, it's a big one. It's Fulham, who are in the relegation zone, up against West Ham, who they're doing okay this season. They're doing all right. They're just outside that top six, but who knows? It's a London derby. Anything could happen. I think I'm just leaning towards Fulham with them being the home team. I'm going to say Fulham 2-0. I'm
going to go West Ham 2-0. I'm torn with Fulham, because sometimes I watch them and I think they play all right football, but I don't think they're good enough to stay up at the moment. So West Ham, they're not in bad form. They're slowly dropping down the table bit by bit, but I think they're going to get the win, so 2-0 West Ham. 2-0
West Ham. The next game is a massive one. Manchester United, after that 9-0 win, are hosting Everton. So it's not an easy team to go up against. Everton, they're quite stubborn, aren't they? And for that reason, I'm actually going to predict a goalless draw here. I think Everton will come here and they'll know that a point's a good result, so they'll shut up shop, and they'll probably try and grind it out. I'm going to say 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's hard with Everton, because sometimes you go against them and then they actually get an alright win, or they pull out a draw. But I think Man United's confidence is going to be sky high at the moment, coming back off a 9-0 win. I think they're going to get the win, and I think it's going to be 3-0 United.
3-0 United. Yeah. Moving on to Sunday, we have Tottenham Hotspur against West Brom. Now, what a bad defeat for West Brom, losing to Sheffield United on the Tuesday night. Sam Allardyce is running out of time now. He's got to get a result, and I don't know, it's away to Tottenham. I'm gonna go 2-0 Tottenham. Yeah. I'm
gonna go 1-1. I think Tottenham are not in good form at all, and they're playing boring football. They're not entertaining to watch. I think West Brom, they should be beating West Brom. West Brom are in very bad form. I did think they'd lose against Sheffield United. Did they go 1-0 up and then lose?
They did, yeah.
2-1, so that is very poor. So I should go for a Tottenham win, but Tottenham haven't convinced me at all this season, so I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, the next game is a Midlands affair. It's between Wolves and Leicester. Now, Wolves, what a win that was to beat Arsenal despite playing against 9 men, and they got a bit lucky with the decisions. Did you see Moutinho's goal?
Yeah, great goal.
Oh my gosh.
That was a really good goal.
What a goal that was. I'm going to, once again, go down the middle. I think Leicester need a result to get into the top 4. Wolves probably just need a few more points to tick over from safety. So I'm going to go 1-1. I'm
going to say 2-1 Leicester. I think Leicester have got the quality to get the win. And I know it's the way at Wolves, so it's not going to be easy. But Wolves, although they just won their last game against Arsenal, they had a bit of luck. But overall, they've been pretty poor, to be honest. So I think Leicester should go into this thinking, we can win this. And I think they are. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Leicester.
Okay, now this one, oh my gosh. Liverpool versus Manchester City. This is huge. This is literally huge. Man City right now are my favourites for the title. The way they're going about their business is fantastic. But there's obviously 2 obstacles at the moment. One is Man United and one is Liverpool, and this game is huge, especially at Anfield. Man City don't do too well at Anfield, but I still think they'll walk away with a draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
I think if Liverpool win or draw, that's going to suit United, to be honest. So they'll be hoping, they'll be actually backing Liverpool for once.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool can do it, but Man City have just kept so many clean sheets. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 0-0 draw. So I'm going to be boring, and I think the game's going to be boring, and I'll say 0-0.
Okay, now the next game is at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United going up against Chelsea, who have done okay so far under Tuchel. But we are recording
this.
Is
that how you say it? Tuchel?
Is it Tuchel?
I thought it was Tuchel.
Oh, I don't know. I'll pronounce it different every video. But we've got Sheffield United versus Chelsea. We are recording this before Chelsea play Spurs, so I don't know what the result is of that one yet. But shock incoming.
No, you're not backing Sheffield United.
Sheffield United 1-0. Right now, they need to get the results. And
they do.
They've
kind
won,
of are.
I think they've won 3 of their last 5 or 6. They might do it. They might do it.
Nah, I don't think they are. I mean, I can see why you're going to back them, because Chelsea, they're playing well, but they don't seem to be scoring. And if they can get Werner firing, they'll be fine. But he's just not, is he? So I'm still going to back Chelsea. I think it might be a 2-0 win, because Sheffield United, although they've been alright recently, before that they were absolutely shocking. So I think Chelsea need to turn up, get some goals, and show look, we've paid a lot of money and we can perform like a top team, and they need to do that against Sheffield United.
Yeah, and the final game on the Monday is Leeds United versus Crystal Palace. This is a tricky one to predict, because they're both in that sort of region of the table where the results really can vary. Palace have won their last 2 games, but Leeds have looked very impressive with that 3-1 win at Leicester last weekend. That was amazing. So I'm tempted to go down the middle, but just looking at the teams on paper, I think Leeds might have the quality to snatch it. 2-1 Leeds. I'm
going to say 3-1 Leeds. I think it's going to be another 3-1. They're a weird team. I wouldn't even be surprised if Palace went there and won.
Yeah.
You just can't back them up. Never stick them in a bet at the moment. But I think they've got the quality, and Palace aren't in the best of form really, so I think they're going to do them, and I think it'll be 3-1.
3-1. Wow. That wraps up the Premier League predictions for this weekend. Coming up, some massive games. So if you haven't already, get your predictions down below. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.